And hello and welcome back to Xenoblade Chronicles 2. Last time, Pyra disappeared and we did some stuff. The only thing I really did in between episodes is I went and tried to get more of a feel for the setup I did in between. Because I got that new rare blade and I was like, okay. I also switched Nia to having Zenobia again because I put a healer on Rex as part of my switch up. So it's like, okay, I'll just have a healer on each of them for now. I feel like that's going to be less efficient healing-wise, and damage-wise, but... but in general, I wanted to make sure I didn't completely neglect the damaging side of things, basically. So for now, at least until we get Pyra back, which I assume is going to be a thing, even if it's not immediate. So, there was a couple things I wanted to talk about that I took some notes on, because it's been... Ooh, a bit over a week since I last recorded, and I had some thoughts. What else is new, right? So, as a general FYI, I wrote this down because I figure I should mention it. People have given me a lot of advice on how to play the game. Just random stuff. Not necessarily to the point where I sort of got annoyed previously, where it's like that, and I'm not saying this is the same thing. What I want to say now is, when you give me a big list of, oh, this is how chain attack works, it's a combination of I skim it, I see stuff, oh, I already realized that, oh, I already realized that, oh, I already realized that, it's like, oh, I didn't know that, and then I come back here like days later, and between everyone making comments and whatnot, I don't retain half of the things people tell me. And the things I do retain are pretty vague. I learn best by doing. That's just how I learn. So I'm probably going to do that. Feel free to continue giving them because it does stick to some extent. But as a general FYI, basically, there's going to be things that I just don't retain by the time I actually sit down and play the game. Which I'm personally okay with, because I like learning on my own to an extent, and I don't mind getting some tips and tricks and stuff. It's not like I'm learning from the people in the comments to an extent, it's more I'm being made aware of stuff to an extent, like, because in my head it's more like, oh, I heard it from some person at some point, and it's sort of like that from my perspective, at the very least. I also had some general thoughts about things, observations or thoughts I had in between. The whole Titans become core crystals for blades is the weirdest thing. There's a thing, and I was like, just while editing, I noticed something when I was thinking about this, where Gramps himself, he has a little core crystal looking thing in his chest. Doesn't he? It does sort of look like that, which makes the implication for the core crystals is not that they turn into the core crystals, but that they're enveloping the core crystals, right? With their large size. And since Gramps is so small, he's only partially enveloping it. That sort of thing. It's blue, too. And that's another thing. People mentioned, like, because I was like before, it's like, oh, is Emerald that weird? And people were making comments like, you should really pay more attention to all the colors of the core crystals. And it's like, really? Have they all been so non-diverse? Because I haven't been paying attention to them, and part of that is because I have this memory from back when Rex got stabbed by Jin, of him having a weapon with a very distinct red glow to it. Yeah? And since then, Pyra had Emerald, and I know I've seen Blue, which I think is actually the thing most things are, or the standard is. I sort of saw those three at a point, and I haven't really been paying attention to it, just because I've been thinking, oh, I saw those three. It must be just some combination of them, and I haven't really paid attention to what most of them are, because I got the idea in my head that they were relatively diverse. And coming back to the whole, like, Titan going to core crystal thing, if they're not the core crystal, then something else is the core crystal, right? And I guess one idea that came to mind was, what if they're humanoid to some extent? What if they were people before in some capacity, that sort of thing? Like, we sort of get the implication for Pyra at times. The fact that she still has her memories and stuff like that sort of makes it feel like that to an extent. And she could be an exception. That could be the nature of the Aegis. Maybe the Aegis itself is something that comes from a person, and or Aegis. Aegis feels like how it should be pronounced, but they keep saying Aegis, so that's how you pronounce it. But Like, maybe she's an exception in that idea. But if it is a humanoid, maybe it's something like humans become the core crystal, Titans like form around it, and then when Titan dies, it basically gets released for people to use as blades and stuff like that. That's my best guess at this point. And with that in mind, here's something to note. There was a couple scenes I went back and looked at, like when I talked about noticing the Gramps thing. That was actually because I went back and looked at a couple scenes. Basically, I looked at Rex's initial exposition at the beginning of the game, and I looked back at Gramps' explanation of why he turned small, because I was thinking there might be something useful in there. The Gramps thing, I don't feel like I got anything out of going back and looking, except noticing the crystal more explicitly, because I was thinking about it. And for the Rex thing, the only thing I really got out of it was his explanation of the original myth is that he said the people up on Elysium had the power to move the heavens or something of that nature, which, sort of sounds like my theory, like how blades presumably work based on my speculation. So that gave me some ideas. So what I'm going to do now, basically, I'm going to have a theory for everything. I'm going to go out on a limb and make a theory, basically. I actually approached this from two perspectives. I tried to think of it because the main thing I wanted to do via this was try to explain resonance, because it just feels like the most unexplained aspect of all this. That just feels so unexplained. And it feels like it's so important, but there's so little anyone has said about it at any point. That's the thing. And then the other sort of perspective I did was a general observation from the first game is that it was actually very thematic in its storytelling. The whole time aspect of it, the whole fate and that sort of stuff. It basically became a thematic story about fate. And the answer of that thematic question about fate was, we make our own future, basically. And I suspect this game is going to have the same sort of thing. And my best guess as to what it's going to be based on the story so far, and this has more to do with the blades at this point, is I think it's not going to be fate or anything like that. I feel like it might be identity. Because they've made a little bit of a deal about the memories of blades and understanding themselves and stuff like that. And it's hard to predict exactly what a thematic answer is going to be. Basically, what the story's answer to the thematic question it poses is. But if I were to apply my own principles, and I said it before too, if I were to apply my own principles and views on life, the thematic answer in my mind would be something along the lines of, basically, you are who you are now, and dwelling on who you used to be doesn't matter, because that's essentially a different person. So just live your life as the person you are now, basically. And don't dwell on the past, don't dwell on this existence that used to be. Make the best of your current day, that sort of thing. And that's just a general principle of things I believe in life in general. Man, it's almost 10 minutes of recording. I haven't even really started the theory. I was trying to lead up to this. But okay, I wrote a lot of this down. I sort of developed two theories, but they ended up being very similar outside of the starting point. So the first theory, basically, the idea is that, I'd say in general, the idea is that the world itself could be either after the first game, or I suppose it could be in the world created after the first game. And I'm going to approach this on the assumption that it's the same world to some capacity, right? At the very least. That might not be true in the end, but at this point, if I don't base some of my speculation on the first game stuff, I don't have a ton to work with. So let's base it on that at the very least at the moment. So the idea is that it could be something placed in the world created after everything changed, right? At the end of the first game. Or it could be happening parallel to that, maybe. Or it could be happening in, say, a little pocket sort of dimension sort of thing, like we saw at the end of, what do we want to call it? the DLC for the Definitive Edition. Not the DLC, no, the epilogue, where there's this weird thing that seemed like it might not have been a different dimension, but it was just a different like something that was playing by different rules, sort of like coming out of this like breach, and it was almost like it was a wormhole or something that could like bring you to a different dimension or a different plane of the world or something like that. Yeah, we didn't move through it or anything like that, but like the fog and all that stuff was so mysterious and stuff like that. There might be some element to it, I suppose, is my point, that could drive that sort of thing, yeah? But that's not as important. The important part is that the connection is, in my mind, probably connected to basically what Elvis was, yeah? Because how I see the blades is I basically interpret them as being like Elvis. Maybe they're not as significant as Elvis, like controlling the entire thing, but I see them as like sort of like mini Monados, where the blade itself is sort of like an access key. The weapon itself is like the access key. The blade is basically like the processing computer that accesses the actual main computer that can manipulate the world itself, right? To an extent that we can't do that. So the idea is basically that there are more Monados and potentially more types of Elvises, maybe. And then, or maybe it's Elvis, because, I mean, Elvis doesn't need to be in one place. It could just be Elvis, too, to some extent. You could have two different situations, as I saw, and this is basically the difference between the two theories, where you could have a situation where another person got it from that whole space station incident, and they decided to essentially create a world where you have they didn't keep all the power to themselves. You have the ground on the bottom where everyone lived, and you had this giant tree where he basically made like a Mount Olympus sort of thing, maybe a pantheon of people he spread his powers between. And then at some point, you got to a point, and this is sort of based on the fact that Rex was talking about how the people of Elysium were able to move the heavens and whatnot. It was an explicit call that the people who lived there had like extraordinary powers, right? So I sort of, in my mind, am thinking that the people that came from Elysium are essentially the precursors to the Blades. That's the sort of the idea there. So some sort of disaster happened. I honestly wouldn't know what. And that resulted in basically all those demigods sort of that have like splintered parts of like a Monado's power sort of thing being basically regressed into the core crystals, and those are spread out across the world, and it becomes basically a place where they're only able to properly form in the world when a person resonates with them and that sort of thing. The other option that came to mind was the idea that, and this is sort of based on the theme of identity and whatnot, it would be very interesting if you had Elvis or an Elvis equivalent that basically, in the same frame of mind, got splintered into a bunch of different pieces, a bunch of different personalities. Imagine if like every single blade, to some extent, was one original person in the end. How much would that screw with your mind? Like who am I anymore? If I'm only like a little splinter of the personality that used to be there, who am I anymore, basically? So basically the idea is that it gets splintered in the same capacity, and it just becomes these different blades, essentially. And the ego split into countless fragments, each with a lesser part of the access, essentially, to that grand algorithm and supercomputer that can control the universe, and to an extent that it could, control the entire universe. And it sort of goes the same way. Some tragedy happened, probably causing the splintering in the first place. And it leads to a world where you have all the sea happening that makes the ground below uninhabitable from the people who were living there previously. And it has a situation where all these blades are basically pieces of just one greater Monado, that sort of idea. And within these ideas, you could have the Aegises as either like maybe alternative like, because we already saw a situation where there are multiple Monados that have been handed out in some capacity. Maybe they're a Monado themselves in the same capacity. Or maybe they're just a large piece of it that have a lot of power relative to everyone else. That sort of thing. After that, both the theories sort of come into one general idea, where you have these crystals, and Titans are sort of like the, I'm forgetting their name, the species that, Melia was a part of, back in the original Xenoblade, where they had that whole situation where they could, like, transform and whatnot. Basically, just sort of like ether creatures that were, like, created to protect the, crystal cores, or the core crystals and stuff like that. They were made around them in order to basically be something that would, stick around and actually, you know, like, protect them from being misused, that sort of thing. But then they started dying off, people started finding core crystals and stuff like that. And so we have the current day. That sort of brings into resonance where, like I said, I think the idea in both those ideas is that you sort of don't have a... you have basically some sort of consciousness that doesn't have a full grasp on the world, either because they're like a normal person who was sort of so changed at a fundamental level that they couldn't keep grasp on their current existence, that sort of thing. Or you have a situation where you have just bits and pieces of an ego that sort of need to be filled out. Because there was a mention, if I remember correctly, from when they were first talking about resonance and whatnot, where the shape of the blade depends on the person who resonates with it, that sort of thing. It could just be straight up a situation where they're literally, like, given a partial form that they don't have to create the rest of their existence, like, directly from the driver, essentially. As for why they can do that, I sort of think, like, maybe it's like how Shulk worked back in the first game. Like, they have, like, some partial access, maybe because of ancestry, because we had the whole stuff with Rex needing to be from, like, a location and a group of people in order to do what they needed to do in order to do the stuff with the Aegis. And I guess it's unclear if him being able to use Pyra is connected to that, or if the important part was just getting past the door. That's unclear. But it could still be something like that. That part I'm not sure about, but I feel as though it could be something along the idea of what Shulk had in the first game, where he basically got partial access because of some connection that he had to someone who already had access, that sort of thing. And that's sort of the theory. If I were to go out a little bit more with those, I could say Pyra in the, like, Pantheon theory could be just from the original one, and she remembers what it used to be like, and how everything has just fallen apart, and she wants to try to restore it in some capacity, maybe. Or if she's another Monado to some extent, then perhaps that's the thing she's hiding to, like, she knows the nature of the world and how shitty things are, etc., etc. She could be like an Elvis, that sort of thing. As for Torna, my best guess is that it's comprised of people that were from the olden times, because we're talking about people who say that they've lived for hundreds of years. They're probably basically immortal in terms of aging at this point, yeah? And others that have joined their cause since, possibly, like, getting access to immortality. Because if you have, like, the ability to manipulate ether, you might be able to make yourself immortal even, to that extent. Who knows? My guess at their goal is that they want to create a singular Monado again to basically change the world to something that they see more fitting, right? And that's why they want to gather all the blades together. Because both my theories have the blades as basically bits and pieces of a greater Monado-like thing, right? So, that's my best guess, currently. I put some thought into it, but I'm sure I'm well off. And I've spent way too much time on this, so I should load the game. I'm sure I will cut that down a little bit so it's not 20 minutes. At least down to the fundamental parts that I actually need to use. But, okay, let's go and play the game! Huzzah! Oh? We're going up.
And arrived.
We're going upwards,
Good
not downward.
you.
I sort of thought we were going to be going downward. I didn't realize there's a big stairway going upwards, too. I'm not surprised, but This is gonna be a long stairway, isn't it? I am intending to record a bunch today, so we should be fine going up a bunch of stairs. Hey, guys.
So lame. How long are you going to stay in that form?
That's none of your concern. I am who I am. Where's Iona?
Aegis is the meanest son of a bitch I know.
Anyone along with it?
Son of a bitch!
I still think we should have sent them a finger or something.
What an really?
You know best.
Wow, okay.
You know what we're after, don't you?
Jin. Is he on your side too?
I exist for his benefit. That's all I'm gonna say.
Really?
I don't believe that. Not in the way it implies, at least.
Let's end this. Now.
Trying to destroy her? Or just knock her unconscious or something? You didn't even bring your sword! What are you expecting to achieve?
Riggs! I'm okay. But Pyra's fighting alone. She's close though. Really close.
Well, well. I see I'm not the only son of a bitch.
Still defiant, I see. Just give it up, girl. Think you can do it alone? Handle that power?
I won't use that power, and I won't let you use it either!
Ooh.
You seem to be doing nicely without your driver.
It's like you don't know who you're dealing with. You can't beat me like that.
But maybe I can! Dia!
The kid?
Hey, buddy!
Rex! Everyone!
Get the kid out of here! Get her out of here! Someone!
Van Damme, take Iona.
Gotcha!
Fantastic.
We'll take
Thank you.
care of these guys.
Gladly.
Well, it's come to this. Needs must. Abrona, do them in.
Thought you'd never ask!
Okay. Wait, do I get Pirate back? Wait. Shit. Do I get Pirate back? Oh, shit. Wait, who did I lose? Shit, who did I lose? Whatever. I'm not gonna have healing then, I guess. If I... Nope, I still have my healer at least. Okay, good. Okay, how do I play this again? It's been a week. And I'm jumping into a boss battle. Oh, no. Ah, one of these again. Well, what the hell? What's happening? I'm not sure. Okay, well, stop shackling! Well, I didn't finish my freaking combo either. Why did we lose that? Wait, did she switch? She switched. Yeah, she switched to drill mark. That's why. Oh my goodness, I can't finish any of these.
Allow me to change the script. I guess I really am the best. Why not?
Okay. Oh shit, they went down. I wasn't paying attention to that. Okay, I'm not I can't move, I can't heal. Come on! Why can't I switch? I can't change targets. Come on. There we go. Nice, switch again. There we go. Oh my goodness! Is it forcing me to target him? Oh my goodness.
You think you're clever?
You can take this.
Is it a bit? What did I achieve? I achieved something there. My goodness, that was a clusterfuck.
I must admit, I've enjoyed playing my part in this hackneyed tale, but
Time for the final act?
Huh?
Of what? What are you doing? What's that?
You're bluffing!
No! Rex!
What?
you see, blades draw their power from atmospheric ether energy. They send their power to the crystal where it manifests. But what if we were to interrupt the flow?
Shit! Don't look good!
Damn! The power's draining out of my weapons!
It's no good. I can't transfer power, my lady.
Master pun! Poppy feels funny!
Why won't you guys leave Pyra alone?
Isn't it obvious? We want the power of the Aegis for ourselves. It's Jin's desire to erase all of humankind from the world.
What?
Okay, that's fucked.
Did Jin seriously say that? Erase all of humankind?
My. Surely you knew better than anyone. You know what humans are really like.
Mia! What are you doing?
Erase humanity, then do what?
You've seen the capital. You've seen the ships, weapons, soldiers, all poised to invade Morardane. Doesn't it make you want to laugh? Every corner of the world is defiled by such vermin.
But that's nothing new. They haven't changed a bit in 500 years. No wonder Father abandoned them.
Father? Hey, that Pantheon idea.
No, the only thing that hasn't changed is you. Father didn't want us to wipe out innocent life.
Why did he make us then? Get real. That's what we're for, to descend on the world and eliminate these pests.
What? Is that power coming from his blades?
Playtime's over. Let's end it. Akos!
Agreed. How very noble.
Bastards! Over here!
Nia! Tora! Damn! Stop, Rex! It's no good!
Rex!
Hitting girls isn't as much fun.
Malos, you're the icon of chivalry.
Malos.
You're not getting her!
An attack from the outside?
Van Damme!
Ah, the lunk is back. But that pea shooter won't help you. Even if you hit, it'll barely register.
Why are you blocking them?
Bloody idiot! Think I don't know that? Are you ready, Rex? Another lesson for ya! Something else you could do with a blade!
Wait, what?
What? Bastard!
Did he stab himself?
He's channeling the energy from his weapon through his body.
Yeah, nothing you can do to stop this ether flow. Nothing at all!
That can't be healthy.
Take Pyra and scram, kid!
I can't just leave you here.
Ah! Rex, don't go dying on me here. You gotta make it. You gotta get away from here now. Live for her. You gotta make it to Elysium.
I won't allow it! Give it up!
Just go, Rex! Remember to fight your war!
Shit.
Van Damme!
We need to go now. Now.
Oh, please. What a cliche.
Yeah!
Rex?
Ah! You're gonna pay for this for Van Damme!
Not now.
No. We have to go.
You're a pain in the ass, little shit!
I can't do it.
Rex. Rex.
Can't let you do this!
So long, kid!
What? That looks like a mech.
What?
That looked like a mech. Wait, what?
Pyra?
Did she like ascend or what?
What is this?
You can't rewrite the act now. It's too late.
Hey, idiot! Look out!
Huh?
Well, that ain't fire anymore, at least. Is this the power? It does look a lot more like the thing in the play, doesn't it?
Whoa, get lost! Mitra!
Mithra? Pyra! You're...
I am not Pyra.
Huh?
I am Mithra. Pyra, she's a different self that I constructed.
Wait, what?
A different self?
No time for that.
Oh, okay.
Now focus.
Well, he listens to her.
You need to focus, or I can't transfer my power to you.
No, it can't be. My powers are useless? Where is that energy coming from?
Wake up! She's not drawing from the ether, it's something else!
Not ether?
Mithra! Looking good. Things are heating up!
Let's do it.
What is this?
Is it something time related?
It's called foresight.
I don't...
A prediction of what will happen in the immediate future. Read their movements to find an opening, then counter.
I get it.
How did he dodge that?
Who cares how? Just get them!
You don't understand? That is fantastic.
Piece of cake.
There's no way.
I wouldn't mind killing him right here.
There's no way to break their link. I don't think we're gonna beat them.
This is it. The true power of the Aegis takes me back. I've waited so long to see it again. Mithra, welcome back!
Is it gonna be 1-on-2? Ooh. Oh, we get everyone. Okay, sure. Let's go. Same arts though. That's good. Boats on. Is this light or is this electricity? It feels like light, but the coloration seems more like the electricity one. What happened to his pandemic? Oh, cool, he's down. Trying to find one that ends with light. Yeah, here's one. Oh, okay. Well, so much for that. Okay, no, it is that light one. Wait. Is that different? I feel like there's a light one that had like a light blue coloration. I thought that was light at least in the combos. This seems different at least. Am I forgetting what that... Am I not realizing what that is? Oh my goodness. Yeah, that is just straight up different. Yeah, fuck off. Okay, what? We get foresight now?
Sacred Arrow!
What is this? Aegis!
Abrona!
Interesting. Did we destroy their blades?
Don't.
Unresonate them?
We gotta retreat. Aegis!
Abrona!
No time for that, Aegis!
Huh. Did he leave it in the end? Or did he take that? What about Van Ham's? Is his... Yeah, he's... It's been... You're back? Okay. We need so many explanations. I guess that's what he meant by taking that form. I mean, he was dead as soon as the core crystal reverted. That's like a really good sign. It's a really good indicator, at least. For better or for worse. Was I that close to the end of the chapter? Not damn. Well then, this has gone well. I guess I'm vaguely happy I didn't get used to using him. I'm just trying to make myself happy. Aegis! Are we gonna learn about the Aegis? Seems like a flashback. Feels like a flashback. Does it look like darkness element? Well, that looks like a light element. It's okay. Very reminiscent of the play, isn't it?
The body may die, but never the soul, which is merely passed on. Souls flow onward, born and reborn, forever part of the great ether stream.
Why friends make grave here? Can we not take Biggie Pon home to village?
He'd want to be buried where he fell. It is traditional amongst mercenaries.
Oh, her hair's blue, not green or white. I don't know, that bothers me.
I'm so sorry, Fanta. If only I hadn't listened to those people, you'd still be... I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
It's not your fault. No matter what, those guys would have tracked us down eventually. What matters is that Vandam saved all our lives. For now, let's just be grateful to him for that.
You're right.
I won't forget your words, Vandam. Ever. I'll fight my own war. With Pyra. Pyra? Are you alright?
Yes.
Good. I was worried that you might not. Wake up. Pyra, you know I've got to ask. That thing that happened yesterday, you called yourself Mithra?
What? I am...
We need explanations.
I'd like to hear that too. That power, it wasn't normal. Is that the true power of the Aegis? I think you owe us an explanation. It was pretty crazy.
Torna want to know too. Pyra was super strong. Why so strong, huh?
No, don't pressure the girl.
I think it's too late.
Well, the thing is... I mean...
Oh! Hi.
Pyra?
Why?
Why what?
Huh?
Why did you wake me up?
Huh? What?
I didn't want to wake up. I didn't want to come back.
Uh,
I left everything to her so I'd never have to use that power again. But then you woke me up.
I
Woke you up?
chose very little in this.
If you hadn't been so useless, none of this would have happened. I wouldn't have had to use this power. Didn't you listen to that Van Damme guy? He told you to hold back. He told you to run. But you just had to push yourself, idiot. Look where it's got us now.
You
really messed up.
You don't have to tell me that. I know, all right. I knew I was being an idiot,
Rex.
You know everything.
but I couldn't hand you over to them.
You're not just like a
I wanted to keep you safe.
completely different entity.
What? At any rate, if you've got questions, you can ask her. I'm out of here. Bye. That's not fair.
That is so interesting.
Everyone, I'm very sorry about all that.
Yeah, we are owed an explanation at this point. We have to be. You have to explain stuff. Do you want us to stay safe? That's a big part of it, having knowledge.
Malos and I are Aegises.
Wait, what? Malos? But he was fighting with a blade.
Blade's born with a terrible power, strong enough to destroy the world.
What?
Malos is another Aegis.
What?
Long ago, there was a man who climbed the world tree, hoping to make it to Elysium and meet his creator. But when he arrived at Elysium, he found it empty. So instead, as proof that he had reached that divine realm, he brought back 2 core crystals, Malos and me. And once he made it back to Allrest, he awakened Malos. Why he did it, I can't say. For greed, for power, or perhaps... When Malos awakened, he wielded his world-shaking power, without restraint. To him, it was natural. He had never known anything else. I was awakened by a driver who was determined to stop Malos's rampage. So Malos and I fought. I fought with all my might and succeeded in defeating Malos.
Yeah, that looks like a mech. What?
But not without a price.
What?
3 great titans fell in the struggle. After the battle, I sealed myself away to ensure that power would never be unleashed again. I took the form you see now and fell into a long slumber. That was 500 years ago.
The Aegis War. The man who awakened Mithra was Adam, hero of the lost kingdom of Torna.
They didn't show him.
Adam fought as Mithra's driver to protect the world from Malos. We Titans played our part in that battle too. It is our calling to live alongside humanity after all.
Gramps?
Adam hid Pyra's sleeping body inside a great ship and sunk her to the Cloud Sea's floor where none could abuse her power.
So that day, that's the ship that we... That's how Pyra and
I believe it was fate that we met each other. Otherwise, my sister would never have woken up.
You call her your sister?
Mithra and I used to talk together. In that dream of Elysium where you met me. We promised that when we were awakened again, we'd go home to the real Elysium. And then we would fulfill our real purpose.
Which is?
And that's... defeating Malos again.
How'd getting to Elysium accomplish that in any capacity? I know he seems to be wanting to stop it, but... he showed no signs of trying to use any of that power. He was even using a blade himself. That is... what?
I'm very sorry about Mithra. She didn't mean all that.
She probably did.
You have to understand, she came out because she wanted to protect you. She broke her own seal for you. Even used her power as the Aegis. The flame powers I use are just a shadow of her strength. Droplets of excess energy trickling through the seal.
Don't worry about it. She was right. This was all my fault. I'm just glad... that you finally managed to open up a little. Also, thank you for protecting everyone, I mean.
Protecting? Me?
Your powers are incredible. I could feel the truth behind the legends.
I'm sorry.
You apologize a lot. You know that? I guess you still feel guilty about the Aegis's power, right? But I don't want you to have to apologize anymore. I hope I can help you move past that. No. I know I can.
Rex,
Power depends on the heart of its wielder. That's what Vandam said. That's why your power is the power to protect. The power to keep everyone safe and smiling. I want to do the same. I'm gonna be the kind of driver who can protect you in turn, I promise. Make a girl cry? That's not gonna fly. Make a girl smile? You pass the trial.
Oh my.
That's the third rule of the Salvager Code. Yeah?
Rex! Can you help Tora with repairing of Puppy, please?
Okay, I'll be right there. Oh, yeah. What's for dinner tonight?
how does meatball pot au feu sound?
Delicious. I can't wait.
That's my Rex. Never loses his smile. And that's what keeps us all going. Reminds you of Adam, don't you think?
Well, that took the smile off her face. Oh, did he make her cry, Gramps?